Hey everyone, it's N Types, and as some of you know, I like GLC format, and it's kind of not in a good spot right now. But someone tried to save it by hosting some tournaments in standard GLC and in classic GLC format. The second tournament, everyone just net decked the first one, I think. I'm not really sure, but the second tournament, there were way less people, and they're only across 5 decks, only 2 types. Not really sure what that was all about. But across, I'm looking at both tournaments here and there are actually a wide variety of decks, and I want to take a look at what it is. So if you don't know, GLC is a single prize, singleton, so only one of each card. And you also have only one type of Pokemon here. And so we see also this is standard format, as I said. GLC is meant to be like expanded format, but this is played on Pokemon TCG Live. So this is how this person does to run it, or this group or whatever. I should have a link down below in the description to the tournament or tournaments, so you can check them out, and it's kind of cool. But here are the list. First of all, we have a grass list. Pretty normal stuff with Grottle, Torterra. And Grottle allows you to search out your grass Pokemon. Torterra does big damage for grass evolutions. We also see Jumpluff here with its ability that says it can attack twice. And obviously it can do 60 for 1, which is okay, essentially becoming 120 for 1, not bad. And then we also see, really interestingly here, Rapid Strike Swirls, allowing you to do 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. For fighting Colorless, and Limitless doesn't like, I don't know, well, the image generator is kind of weird, but yeah, and then we see it runs a Rapid Strike energy to pay that attack cost, because Jumpluff here is, of course, Rapid Strike. And Skiploom also evolves faster. So the Spupa Scatterbug can evolve instantly as well. Cherim accelerates grass energy. LDS searches it out, and you can accelerate it to. Oh, and Celebi gets Pokemon as well, I believe. Or does it grab energy? Let's see. It grabs. It allows you to grab energy off the top of your deck. So Celebi and Eldios get energy in your hand, and then Cherim you can go ahead and use to do big damage. And then we also see Zarude here is a big attacker that says Pack Hole allows you to set up, but more importantly, Repeated Whip, 60 plus Toymar for each energy attached to this Pokemon, allowing for big damage. This deck is a bit all over the place, but I believe it did quite well. It might have won the first tournament. And then we see that the trainer counts are pretty normal. Colorless' Experiment is a bit of a bold play because it says look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put 3 of them into your hand, put the others in a Lost Zone. It's a very powerful card, but in GLC, Lost Zoning stuff can be very scary. And then, yeah, pretty much, like, we see all the Pokemon search cards played here. And the EXP share, Mesagoza, right? We got all these cards. And nothing too crazy here that, like, really catches my eye. Energy Lotto feels a bit strange. I guess it allows you to find your Rapid Strike energy easier. Yeah, and then, we also see pretty much every list running Arvin, and I think Battle VIP Pass. I haven't looked at all the lists super in depth, but yeah, there aren't too many trainers to choose from. Gardenia's Vigor does accelerate energy. Gordy gets energy. I personally don't think Gordy's a very strong supporter, but I don't know what other options you have necessarily. But yeah, this list looks pretty solid. I guess I didn't talk about Pavilion, what it does. It says Miracle Powder 50 for 1 on a coin flip. You can give your opponent any special condition. That'll probably be, I don't know. It could be paralysis. Could be like poison. It can be anything, right? But yeah, it's kind of cool. Nothing crazy going on here though. Oh, and then we have another grass list. This is definitely more crazy. First of all, we have this Roserade. Really interesting. First off, Poison for 1, 30 and Poison for 1 on stage 1, and then Assassin's Rose 60 for 2. But then if your opponent's active is affected by a special condition, it also does a 60 snipe to the bench. So the ways of getting special conditions on here, we have this Venusaur, which I'll talk about in a second. But the similarities, we see this Grottle. Oh, this Cricketune I think is very powerful, buffing your HP. History and Lillian accelerates energy from the deck. Heracross, generic attacker. Zarude can gust and attack. Calyrex also is like a setup Pokemon with its attack. Student Electrode is also a setup Pokemon, and it attacks for free. That's kind of cool. I'm not exactly sure the main way to get special conditions on. I guess it's just going to be this Venusaur here from Pokemon Go. So once during your turn, you can flip a coin. If heads, you gust anything. And then the new active is now Asleep and Poisoned, allowing you to go in with the Roserade. So I think this Grass GLC deck is more interesting, definitely. We got more stuff going on. Aroma Lady is not a very good card. As I said, it seems like it's not the best option, but it's playing this list. Oh, and then like one Crushing Hammer is kind of funny. Yeah, we see just like kind of weird cards like Pokemon Catcher, right? Usually like this is more of a defensively based list, but I like the ideas of it here. And then Double Turbo Energy is here for, I don't really know, I guess Calyrex. I guess I should talk about Zarude. Calyrex searches, as I said earlier, but Zarude says it's a gust for 1 and does 20 to what you gust. And also on triple coin flip, 70 for each head's not too bad. Yeah, I think I like the other Zarude more. We don't really see much energy acceleration outside of Gardenia's, which certainly provides value. And Blunder Palace is really interesting. It says on a coin, if you flip a coin and you flip tails, you draw 3 cards. And as I said, you want Arven. No, this doesn't play Arven. Wow. Instead we see these cards like Silene to be more defensive. But yeah, Blunder Policy allowing you to, if you flip tails on attacks, including, I guess mostly you just have this Kricketot has a coin flip attack. And then, of course, Heracross has a coin flip attack. And Zarude has a coin flip attack. So if you flip tails on those, you get to draw cards. That doesn't seem too bad. Rocky Helmet, if you're hit into, and then Full Face Guard to get some benefit, or at least reduce the downside of getting hit into. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, much more defensively based grass deck. And honestly, this Torterra is pretty insane. So it does 50 for each evolution Pokemon in play, which is most of them. Now we see Metal. So yeah, a lot of people played Metal, and they all kind of play it the same way. I don't know exactly why, but they did. So here we see Klinklang, which accelerates energy when you evolve into it. It's kind of cool, and it also can do 130 for 3. Magnezone accelerates energy from the top of your deck. This is like really good. It's debatably the best part of Metal. And we also have a solid draw engine and Revavroom to discard an energy from your hand, then draw till you have 6 cards. This Aggron's kind of interesting. I guess it's attack counter press. Pretty much if you're hit into, you return and damage the same amount you did to your opponent. And Heavy Impact's pretty strong as well. We see Melmetal. I'm not familiar with its Melmetal. I mean, I know what it is, but I'm not super familiar. Oh, this is the one that says it's immune to Pokemon with an ability next turn. That's actually very powerful. We've seen this on Alolan Vulpix V-Star and Standard. But yeah, this is pretty crazy. Yeah, I think this Melmetal's pretty good, definitely. It's a bit awkward to pay because you really need to use the Klinklang or Magnezone, but it's still good. And then Zamazenta takes less damage, hits back really hard, especially if one of your Pokemon is KO'd last turn. And Dialga can recover, but more importantly, does more for each Metal energy attached. I think Metal definitely is a very strong type. Do I think it warrants being played as like almost like a third of the decks? Probably not, but it's still like good. We see generic supporters. We see Adamant, discard 2 Metal from your hand to search for 2 cards. Good. We see higher accounts of Metal because of Adamant and Magnezone, and obviously you're just a Metal deck. And then we see, yeah, pretty generic stuff here again. We have Crystal Cave and Pot Helmet for defensive options. Pot Helmet's actually like really good. Pot Helmet's I think directly better than Full Face Shield. But yeah, that's cool. And Picnic Basket as well for defensive options. Honestly, I might rather like seeing more defensive options in this list. But yeah, pretty generic stuff as well here. This list might be the same list. I don't see any like clear differences. This list is the same list. I think this list is the same list again. And then this list is different, just a little bit, but we don't see the Klinklang. And honestly, I understand it. It's kind of awkward to set up. Honestly, I'm not sure if you need Rare Candy at this point, but you can search it out with Adamant. Peony this list runs. So yeah, honestly, this like list support account's a bit different, but nothing crazy here. Still like generic safe stuff, I'd say, which is fair, right? Peony is a bit risky because honestly, I feel like that's just like a weird card to play. You play and then like you don't have any hand, so that's a bit more surprising. We see the Melmetal, Revavroom, Magnezone, Bronzong allowing you to move energy around, Cobalion allowing you to accelerate energy. I guess that's the main use here. Again, Dialga, Zamazenta, Mawile. I didn't even know what that's used. Oh wow. Okay, I did not look at the special energy count. That's really interesting. I'll get to that in a second. But Mawile is kind of fun because it can like inflict special condition, also can hit through effects. Kind of interesting. Skarmory, which has an effect that says it takes less damage next turn, which is kind of cool. I would like to see a damage reduction tool, but we still have Crystal Cave to make good use of. And then we also see Heatran here. Takes less damage. If it has Fire Energy, it does 80 more. Oh wait, did the weird thing again. But you can't. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on in this list. It's kind of weird. Again, not. I believe some of these lists are just. Honestly, most of these lists are just kind of thrown together. But that doesn't mean they're bad. And the ideas are certainly kind of cool. I don't know why regenerative energies in this list though. That seems like very strange. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. That doesn't like do anything. But aside from that, and V-Guard's like useless. But Gift Energy, Lucky Energy, Double Turbo is like okay. It allows you to power up a few attacks easier. Melmetal, Cobalion, Mawile as well. So I kind of like that. Honestly, a lot of things. It allows you to power up the ones with like Guard Claw or whatever as well. Impact Energy, I don't know what that's there for, to be honest. You can put it on. It's like Aurora Energy for single strike Pokemon. I don't know the exact idea, but it's displayed in this list. So, comment down below if you want to see me build some GLC standard decks. I probably won't be able to play them because this is like really weird to play, but I think the idea is cool. And then moving on to Lightning, which a lot of people played as well. Looks like 4 people played that with similar decks, but not identical. I don't think these are all net decks. I can't really tell. But anyways, this first list, of course, runs Flaffy, allowing you to accelerate lightning energy. This Luxray, allowing for like spread-based damage. It's kind of cool, and like just big damage all in all. Same thing with Kilowattrel. Emolga, 30 and paralysis on a coin flip, not bad. Miraidon, another like solid attacker with spread aspects. Pachirisu, just a very solid attacker. Regieleki, again, another one with strong damage plus spread. Rotom here is really interesting. Its first attack says shuffle your hand to your deck, draw 6 cards. Also, you can do 80 for 3. This attacker is a bit versatile. Zeraora, like a very solid mid-range attacker. Not a great one, but apparently this person thought it was good enough to include. And then Zapdos, allowing your basics to do 10 more, which is good. You can do it with like Zeraora, Regieleki, Miraidon, Emolga, Pachirisu, Rotom. So we see a lot of basics here. And then we also see pretty normal stuff. Oh, Peonia. That's probably a very good card to include in most lists. Anything else here? Oh, and then we see like some special energy. Gift Energy, a very powerful card. That should maybe be seen playing lots of lists. I'm not sure about Lucky Energy, but it's good. Gift Energy says if you're KO'd, you draw till 7. Lucky Energy, you draw 1 if you're hit into. Double Turbo here again. I don't even like know what this is for. Maybe Zeraora and Kilowattrel. And Rotom too. I guess it does value. I'm not sure if I love it. You do have energy acceleration, of course, with Flaffy, Raihan, which is played in every deck, and Electric Generator. Again, the support account's pretty generic. I'm not sure what I think about Friends and Sinnoh. But aside from that, this all looks pretty solid. And let's see Vitality Band. I don't know if that was in the other list. Oh, and then we see Emergency Jelly. Oh, Defiance Band. If you're down, you do more. That's nice. Emergency Jelly here. If your Pokemon has 30 HP or less remaining, heal 120 from it. That's a pretty strong card. I don't know what that's meant to be paired with specifically, but when you look at stage 2s like Ampharos and Luxray, and even stuff like Kilowattrel and Miraidon and Zapdos, Regieleki, all these like Zeraora, anything with over 100 HP, your opponent might not be quite one-shotting, so then you can stick that on and heal off, and that can be very good. Yeah, I think this list is cool. Is it like the best thing I've seen? I don't know. It's pretty cool though. Right now, this other list is another Lightning list. I'm really surprised we see this Luxray that says if it's the like. Here, I'll read out its ability here. Let's see. We gotta resubmit again to the website. So Luxray here, its ability says if it's in your hand when you start the game, you can put it as your active, and then you can do 50, and then search for 2 train cards, read them, put them into your hand. There are a solid chunk of basics, less than the other list, but we still got the Plusle and Minun, like combo attacker. Plusle actually able to do 120 for 1 if your Minun attacked, probably using Call for Family last turn. This is list run Furioso. I think this list should run Furioso to go to allow you to do Minun easier. Zera Aura again, Regieleki, Miraidon. We see the Ampharos here like is an okay attacker. And Palmot's actually very powerful. It allows itself to be powered up by its own ability over the course of a few turns. It'll just kind of sit on the bench and acquire energy. And then you can go ahead and do 230 for 3, and then you discard the energy, and you have free retreat. You can get right out of there and start powering yourself up again later. I think Palmot here is like absolutely insane. I think this is like a very good lightning attacker. Its low HP isn't great though. And then yeah, wait and see turbo. That card seems bad. It accelerates energy on the on the first turn of the game, going second. But then your turn ends. You can search out with like Arvin, but honestly, it doesn't seem very good. And other way you can search out? No, it doesn't look like. I don't know why this is in the list, to be honest. Also, Lightning doesn't have any like engine, which is kind of bad for drawing cards. So you see the list running stuff like Pokeball, Great Ball. Honestly, I'd consider adding the Bolton line with a Yamper to recover these as well. Everything else. Oh, you have Story Mountains, which is good. If you don't, the other list didn't run it, they should. Allowing you to search your basics. It's quite good. But again, I think the Luxor is kind of questionable, and I would like to see a Furioso girl on this list. Also, Energy Switch, I don't even know what that like does. The one Crushing Hammer again feels kind of random. It's good, but I don't know if I love it. Oh, and then Featherball like doesn't have too many targets. It has 2. It has Palmont, has Zera Aura. I mean Luxray too, but you can't actually play it, so I don't know. It looks fine. Now we got 2 more lightning lists to look at. Yep. This one running Kilowattrel. This spread-based Luxray, Ampharos. This might be the same as the first one we looked at. Don't know if it's identical, but pretty much the same. It's not identical, but it's a similar idea. Honestly, this is, in my opinion, one of the best lists, if not the best list we've looked at so far. There's nothing I look at here and say, why is this in the deck? Let's see. How many Featherball targets do we have here? We only have 1, though. That's, like, kind of questionable. I think there's only 1, unless I'm missing something. And Emolga's not that good, so I'm not sure about that, but it's not an awful pick. And everything else looks fine. I don't know the exact ins and outs, but it all looks very solid here. And I like it. Now moving on to the next list. This is kind of funky. So we see this. So Electric with Ad Hoc Shock. Does Paralysis when it's played on a coin flip? Kind of okay. But then, more importantly, we gotta do this thing again. I don't know why Limitless doesn't like it. Like the image generator, as I said, is weird. But Coil, 10. Next turn you do 120 more, which you don't really need to do, but you can do 160 for 2, which is kind of good. We see this Electabuzz and Electivire, allowing you to do pretty solid damage with high voltage current, like spread damage. Again, we see like the pseudo spread package, and we do see the Yamper Bolton, which I really like. Although the list doesn't run Great Ball, Pokeball. Oh wow, this does not run much Pokemon Search. We see Battle VIP Pass, Level Ball, Nest Ball, Aroma, Heavy Ball, Ultra Ball. That's it. I mean, we have Story Mountains, but with the Yamper, which Yamper on play recovers a Great Ball and a Pokeball from your discard pile. I think it's definitely worth running both of those cards if you want to run the Yamper. Also, like, Featherball has target. It only has 1 target here, I guess. I don't know about this list. I don't know if it's that good. Again, we see, like, the Luxray. Yeah, that's not amazing, because I don't think you're going to be starting it enough, but I don't know. And Pink Kitchen can, like, set up with Call for Family, continuous tumble, 30, flip till you get tails. Not great, but not the worst thing either. Serena's an interesting card in this format, because it's a discard up to 3 cards from 1 to 3 cards from your hand, drop till you have 5. Like, kind of an interesting card. It has a secondary effect, but you just can't use it in this format, but it's kind of interesting. Everything else here looks fine. I think this list has some neat ideas. I don't know if it's strong enough, to be honest, though. I definitely like the list we looked at before. That's my favorite list so far. Now we got this water list. By the way, there's a fire list on the tournament. You can look at it. I'm not going to be covering it because it's not actually a legal list if you look at it. But, yeah. I don't know. I just felt like I had to add that if you are looking at the tournament. And if I forgot to add them in the description, please comment that. I really want to make sure that's there because it's obviously useful. So we see some interesting stuff here. Hisuian Bass. Okay. So, sorry guys. This Hisuian Basculin is kind of bad. It's on a coin flip. For free, it does 40. It's actually not that bad, but Hisui, um, yeah, there's this one, which is pretty insane. Allowing you to search for 2 basic Pokemon, stick them onto your bench for free. Same stats and everything. That's way better than this one. Like, I don't think there's any argument you can make that this one's like better. Okay, I don't really know what's going on here. We see like Sobble, but then we don't see the Drizzile. So you can rare candy to Inteleon. That's a thing, but I don't know. You can Irida. It seems very inconsistent though. I think you should definitely be playing the Drizzile. Inteleon can ping, which is like good, but I don't know. I think it'd also be nice to get some basics that you can keep calling out. Maybe not necessary, but still. I think like the Rapid Strike idea with the water is viable. We see some the swim freely package here though, with Horsey, Seadra for like snipe, and it has swim freely, and Kingdra, an attacking based Kingdra. Honestly, I think you want to play the engine Kingdra. There's a Kingdra that says you choose one player, they shuffle their hand to their deck, and draw 4. I think that's much better. This Kingdra does like solid damage, but you don't have like you need Finneon plus like swim freely, and I like the idea of the swim freely deck, but I don't. I think the other engine based Kingdra is better. This Napoleon you can play straight from the discard if it's the last. If you have no cards in hand, and then does 60 snipe. I don't hate that, but it's also kind of hard to get down to 1 card and to get no cards in hand. Honestly, I think a peony is like super necessary in this list, and I don't see that. Of course, Irida is very powerful, and Arven's quite good as well. I think Peony might be, or sorry, Peonia to get out your rare candy, because you really need to rare candy the Inteleon. I think that's important. This is Titan, a pretty solid attacker, but again, kind of awkward to power up. I wouldn't actually despise a double turbo energy to power up the Titan. It does 200, was it 20 less for each damage counter on it? I believe, yeah. So, it's pretty solid. I definitely think it's cool. I like the idea of this list, and this Articuno. 70 and then Paralyze. It does 50 to itself, so I might actually like to see some healing like Emergency Jelly. I don't actually know if this Articuno is amazing. In Standard, it's very good, but I don't know if it's great in GLC because it's a low damage output plus damage to itself isn't actually that impressive. But then we see everything else here looks pretty standard. Candace, you can like get Pokemon and water Pokemon and energy. It's okay, but it's not great. It's worth running in this list, but it's still not a great card in general. And then, yeah, I think that's it. Pot Helmet again, seeing play here. I like the ideas of this deck. I don't know. This one really is okay. I personally would rather see a Rapid Strike package, though. I have not, as I said, I haven't really messed around this too much, but I feel like the Rapid Strike package would be good with the Octillery. Moving on to Psychic. This is a Psychic list here. Pretty interesting. I haven't looked at all these lists either. Oh boy, this is crazy. Okay, so we see this Hatterene. I'm like, oh, this is Rope on an ability, and it has Psychic 30 plus 50 for each energy attached to the defending Pokemon. That's pretty strong. We don't see Double Turbo. I don't know if but I think that might be good instead of Rapid Strike. But yeah, this is pretty crazy. Then we see this Golurk that says if it has a tool attached, it does big damage, and Megaton Falls is pretty big. Of course, this list runs only runs 1 tool. I think you definitely need more tools, and it runs Arven. You want like 2 or 3 tools in this list, so Golurk can do big damage. The Gardevoir line's like absolutely insane. Drifloon, pretty solid attackers. Uxie, an okay setup Pokemon, I guess. Wobbuffet, an okay. Okay, the Swabbuffet's kind of funny. So, we'll take a look at Deoxys here, too. Deoxys says it's a Rapid Strike, Fusion Strike, Single Strike. If it has any Fusion Strike energy attached, it does 160. That's pretty insane. Of course, it runs a Fusion Strike. No Elises, but I don't think you need that. Then Wobbuffet here. Put damage counters on your opponent's active equal to the number of damage counters on one of your bench Pokemon. That's kind of interesting, but I don't know if that's good enough. They might all be like kind of dead, but still a cool idea. And then we also see Pumpku to bump a Stadium. I don't actually know if that's necessary. but it could be good. And Glared Articuno accelerates to itself to snipe. Oh, Curly and Gardevoir are both a draw Pokemon. Gardevoir has a chance to accelerate energy. Oh wow, this list plays 18 energy. That's pretty high. But I like the ideas here generally. I don't know if Cook's super useful for healing. I don't know, but yeah, the rest looks fine. I might actually like to see more supporters here. I've never been a great GLC deck builder. I know I was putting not enough supporters, and this looks like around the amount I'd put in. So you probably want some more. And same with Pokemon Search, right? And I feel like cards like Sweet Honey and Cook just don't provide enough value. I'd probably cut them from the list. Also, you probably want View from Celebrations. Yeah, I don't know. There's some cool ideas, but I don't think this is quite strong enough. And as I said, I don't think this list performed amazingly. Now, this Dark list, wow, okay, this looks pretty cool. It's missing Liepard. Okay, Liepard's like really important because it's your draw engine. Kingambit buffs your basic damage, but we don't have that many. We have like Galarian Moltres, which is carrying stuff anyway, but then this Hoopa, and Absol. I think Kingambit isn't like amazing here. I think it's a very powerful Pokemon, but I don't think it has the synergies necessary. Zoroark, like it turns into other Pokemon. I don't think it's super necessary. Overquill, like big poison for free is good, but like I don't know. You have this idea of like poison with Overquill and then Muck, to stop them from like evolving out, but I don't think that's super consistent. And then we see Crobat here, a pseudo draw engine and attacker. I don't hate that, but I don't love it either. Inkay for setup, Hoopa for setup. Absol is like spread and damage. And then Bisharp's like not bad either, but I don't know. I think some of the ideas in this deck are really cool, but it's kind of like a mishmash of things. So yeah, you definitely need Liepard in Dark. It's discard 1, draw 2, same as like Curly and stuff. It's very good, but this list does not run that. So yeah, I think it's like missing the mark a little. It's trying to do too many things, and I don't think it's doing them all the way. I think you could go Poison, you could go like Basics, you could go Evolutions, but it's going kind of all over the place. Yeah, I mean, like you have Dark Patch, which is very good. Again, not enough supporters, I don't think, but it's not like an awful list by any means, but it's not quite there. Obviously, it didn't win. I believe this list like didn't do super well. I could be wrong though. Maybe it did win, but yeah. And then we see like the one crushing hammer, which I think we've seen in a lot of lists. It's kind of funny. And then lastly, we have this Colorless list, which I actually didn't like look at super much, but it looks really cool. This is definitely like a really cool list. I think it's solid. So first of all, you have the Barrel engine, a very powerful engine. Tornadus to force a switch, good. Skwovet synergy with Barrel, very good. And Cynthia's Ambition, it has synergy with. I'd almost like to see a card like Karina's Focus, but maybe that's not good enough. And I suppose you could argue Skwovet has synergy with. No, it doesn't have synergy with Serena. But then we also see okay, so we see a lot of like really interesting attackers. Altaria essentially healed and moves damage from one of your bench Pokemon to your opponent's active, providing both heal and damage. It can be very powerful, especially with big Pokemon like Snorlax, a pretty solid big attacker. And then Regigigas, which I'm not actually very familiar with. Oh, the Shaman here is a send-up Pokemon I know. Spinda does like confusion and spread. Regigigas can accelerate to itself. This doesn't look very good. I like 120 double coin flip for 120 for 4. Like you're just gonna get like not enough upside. On average, 120 for 4 is like bad. I don't love this Regigigas. There's the other Regigigas from the Reggie's deck, which is quite strong. Do I love? Oh wait, it's 5 energy. Yeah, no, don't play that one. But I feel like this Regigigas isn't amazing. A Blissey though. Does solid damage. I think this is just a solid attacker. It moves energy to your bench, which is fine, and also stops special conditions essentially. Hisuian Braviary is really interesting, allowing you to do spread for free. I think it's cool the idea of this Hisuian Braviary plus Spinda, which also confuses the active. That being said, I don't know. I feel like it's a bit inconsistent, but I definitely like this deck. It's a really cool one. And I think it's strong as well. I like the deck building ideas. Like Acuity plus Fighting Energy to have reduced damage. I'd like to see like Pot Helmet here. I don't know. People are playing Rocky Helmet. I don't know if it's necessary here, but it's fine. Yeah, always Sharon's Care is very powerful as well. Again, no, sorry, this has enough supporters, I think. Yeah, this list is honestly one of the better ones I've seen, I think. Um, I don't actually know if you need rescue carrier though, but it's a solid card nonetheless, especially for Spinda. But yeah, that's GLC and standard. So I should have the tournaments down below in the description. But I hope you enjoyed the video. It's kind of a weird one, but yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. And as I said, comment down below if you want to see me make decks for this. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video. See ya.